On Wall Street, stocks got slammed today. The Dow fell 195 points. The Nasdaq down 49. Shares of Deutsche Bank fell nearly 7% on reports that hedge funds have begun pulling their money out of the struggling lender, which is facing billions in fines by U.S. regulators for bad securities. Late earnings at Costco, better than forecast, but revenue's a little light. Same-store sales in the U.S. up 2%, and it plans to open 9 new stores. And another setback in housing. Pending home sales fell 2.5% in August. Tom Busby, CNBC Radio.
Napa know-how.
A Napa guy knows that by the foot, there's no better ride than an old station wagon. Room for 6 people facing forward, 2 people facing backward, and a whole lot of luggage, lumber, and bicycles haphazardly strapped to the roof. If you can parallel park that beast, you can park anything. And with some quality parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep your land ship running longer, stronger. It's not obsolete. It's a rare treasure. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
Hi, I'm rapper, actor, model Lil Dicky, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about a pretty glaring issue within our society, and that's condom usage. Guys, I think we've gotten pretty laissez-faire about wearing condoms, and to be honest, I find it disgusting. People are having unprotected sex without even batting an eye. It's insane. It doesn't make one shred of sense to me. How can you even enjoy it? I'd be so stressed out the whole time. I won't bore you guys with the stats, but just know that STDs and unintended pregnancies are very real, and there's nothing better than peace of mind, and that's what a Trojan can provide you, the pleasure of protection. So be an adult and put a condom on.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tom Roberts. The governor of New Jersey is updating the investigation of the New Jersey Transit train that plowed into the Hoboken train station this morning, killing one woman who was hit by falling debris.
Here in Hoboken, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie calls the deadly disaster an extraordinary tragedy.
This train came in at a high rate of speed into the station and crashed through all of the barriers.
Christie wouldn't speculate on the cause, but says the person who could hold the answers is talking.
The engineer who was operating the train was also critically injured. He is at a local hospital and cooperating.
But Christie vows the probe won't be rushed. Ethan Harp, NBC News Radio, Hoboken, New Jersey.
With a presidential signature, government funding is extended and a possible shutdown is averted. President Obama signed a bill extending funding for 10 weeks today. That pushes spending battles beyond the November elections. You're listening to the latest from NBC News Radio. Donald Trump is accusing Hillary Clinton of putting the office of Secretary of State up for sale.
Favors and access were granted to those who wrote checks. She put the office of Secretary of State up for sale. And if she ever got the chance, she'd put the Oval Office up for sale, too.
Campaigning in New Hampshire, Trump said Clinton will be a vessel for special interests. Wells Fargo CEO John Stumpf says he's fixing the unauthorized accounts problem amid the growing scandal. As he did in a Senate hearing last week, Stumpf today told a House hearing that he apologizes. Wells Fargo employees opened as many as 2 million accounts without customers' knowledge to meet sales quotas. More than 5,000 employees were fired. Java lovers are celebrating National Coffee Day with plenty of great deals across the country. McDonald's is pouring free cups of coffee all day, while participating Krispy Kreme locations are handing out a free original glazed donut and a cup of Joe. Dunkin' Donuts is serving up medium-sized coffee for just 66 cents. Tom Roberts, NBC News Radio.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be mostly sunny. Expect a high near 91. Cloudy tonight with a low of 65. A west wind 10 to 15 and gusts as high as 25 expected. Friday's outlook, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 89. Clear Friday night with a low near 63. For Saturday, it'll be sunny. Expect a high of 86. And Saturday night clear with a low of 59. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA 106.5 FM. 1050 AM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
It's back in downtown San Bernardino, just the way it all began. This weekend, it's time to get back to the route, Route 66.
Get back to where you once belonged.
Nobody rendezvous better than San Bernardino, and it's back in downtown San Bernardino, just the way you like it. This weekend, this Saturday, October 1st from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 1,000 cars already entered and more to come. Block after downtown block full of America's legendary iron. Delicious food, fun, entertainment, and most of all, your favorite all-American city, San Bernardino, stronger than ever. Be a part of the fun. KCAA will be at the corner of 5th and D with chances to win family fun packs of tickets to the zoo worth $300. For more info on the route, go to winwithkcaa.com. That's winwithkcaa.com and get back to Route 66 this weekend.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
Woohoo! It's time for open season with award-winning sportscaster Larry Burnett. Open season, where they tackle issues, drop gloves, and swing for the fences. Hey, let's quit wasting time and dive right in to open season. Open season is on the air, in the air, and almost everywhere. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Sports Fan, and all ships at sea. We're celebrating golfing great Arnold Palmer today, so it's half iced tea, half lemonade for everybody. Speaking of Palmer, Carson takes on the Rams this Sunday, just 1 week after the Cards botched up big time in Buffalo.
I'm looking to bounce back this week and really look forward, like I said, looking forward to just getting back on the field to play again, to redeem myself.
Speaking of celebration, the clock is ticking as Vin Scully's illustrious career comes to an emotional end. Speaking of legendary announcers, Bob Miller will be here to talk about coming back to the LA Kings after open heart surgery.
I kid my wife. I said, I know you were trying to get rid of me because her first question to the doctor was, can he finish the hockey season?
Speaking of returns, Paul Pierce coming back to the Clippers one more time.
I think this group is talented enough to win a championship, and that's one of the main reasons I want to come back to give it one more try and help this group get over the top.
And speaking of returns, surprise, Nick Young is back with the Lakers. Who knew?
I heard a lot of rumors this summer. I was preparing for anything, but I'm here now.
It's a flat-out super show, folks, but let's not forget, we're here to celebrate the great Vin Scully. How does that sound to you, Mr. Scully?
I tell you, I'm deeply touched with that remark. I'll put it aside, and maybe I'll think about it as I gaze at a flower or something during my retirement.
Well, you don't have to be deeply touched to enjoy this show, but it sure helps. It's time for open season, where our motto remains, if it's a news in sports, it's a news to us. Alrighty, off to a good start. I'm Larry Burnett with Eric Geller. This is open season, and we are extremely pleased to have you with us. If you'd like to dial in and talk, 888-909-1050 is the number. What a weird week, Eric. I mean, we lost a legend in Arnold Palmer. We lost an up-and-coming star in baseball in Jose Fernandez. We're about to see Vin Scully ride off into the broadcasting sunset, and at the same time, we get Bob Miller back to call LA Kings hockey games again. It's just been really weird. And I know it's against all broadcasting protocol. You don't want to start off a high-profile kind of a show with deaths. But, Arnold Palmer was so big to sports. And, I grew up watching Arnie and Jack and Gary Player, bring golf to television and bring golf to a commercial appeal. And Arnie, of course, he was so much more than a golfer. I mean, he was a great businessman. And even up until the day he died, he was still making tons of money off of investments and endorsements. But it was those three guys, and in particular Arnie, that really brought golf to the forefront here in America. I just really sad to see him go. I mean, I think we talked back around the Masters. He said he couldn't take the opening tee shot because his shoulder was bad, and you could see he looked bad. But guy had a great life and certainly had a great career, but it's sad to see him go.
We all have to go sometime, and it always is really sad.
Why is that?
Because when you got to go, you got to go. That's what they say. But, this guy, if there was a Mount Rushmore, and we always talk about these, he's like at the front of Mount Rushmore. And then you've got Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and I guess at this point Tiger Woods. But if you think about it, without Arnold Palmer, there would be no Tiger Woods. So that's how big Arnold Palmer was. And I think he was still doing, I think, was it a commercial for Xarelto, which was it's a blood thinner?
A heart medication,
yeah. So he was doing.
Which is interesting because the guy died in the hospital waiting for treatment on his heart.
Yeah, so, I mean, he was larger than life. That's a cliche, but it's the truth at this point.
Well, and he was, he was the guy who, first started doing the commercials, and he was the guy who hooked up with Mark McCormick, and he was with an advertising agency, and he was the first guy that was flying the corporate jet and getting around, and he really opened
he got
the
his
door
own
for
Learjet too, I think, at some point.
Exactly.
He got first, yeah. But
exactly.
Here's the thing about Arnold Palmer is that in my family, when my folks were still alive, we'd speak about him every time at dinner if we went out because they always ordered Arnold Palmer.
There you go.
So I mean, we always spoke about it, and we knew who he was because of that. And my mother, who had no idea about golf, she knew about golf because of Arnold Palmer, because she ordered Arnold Palmer the drink, and she found out why it was called the Arnold Palmer. So there you go. That's how big he was.
Arnie, half tea and half lemonade. You know, you mentioned Tiger Woods. Man, how far has this guy crashed? Ryder Cup getting underway this week. They're taking the USA team photo up in Minnesota, and Tiger snugs in. He's a vice captain. He's not a player. And the photographer says, could you move over a little bit? And so Tiger goes to the other side and stands there. And the photographer has to say, Mr. Woods, you're a vice captain. You're not it. Could you please get out of the shot? And Tiger he's over among his peers, and they're kind of laughing, and he's kind of smirking. But from what I've seen of Tiger over the years, that's got to burn him right down to the quick.
Yeah, and straight to the bank too. But yeah, I guess so. When you're Tiger Woods, you think everything's for you. So, ever since that one night, it's crazy. He's just gone down the tubes ever since then.
I'll tell you what, as soon as he stopped fooling around with those 14, 15 women, his
life
just went to hell.
Yeah. So there is something about that.
From the crazy back to the sublime and Jose Fernandez. Geez, here's a young guy. He's 24 years old. Great pitching prospect. He accomplished some great things already in his young career. But he's out in a high-speed boat in the ocean in Miami. And I lived down in Miami for a couple of years, and I actually was in an offshore powerboat race right off of Government Cut, which is where you come out next to the cruise ships and then go out into the ocean. And we raced up to Fort Lauderdale and back, and that was in the daytime. Extremely dangerous. Someday I'll tell you the story about it. But man, to be out there at whatever, they found the boat at 3:30 in the morning.
But
and
the weird thing is, day too. I don't get that.
Well, but the weird thing is, he was originally scheduled to pitch the next day.
Right.
But they moved his start so that they could bring a young pitcher in and give him a shot. And because of that, Fernandez had that night free. He knew he wasn't going to pitch the next day, and he was warned by some friends not to go out on the boat. And it just, man, to go so young, and he's got a baby on the way. It's just a really sad situation. They had his funeral today down in Miami.
It's a terribly sad story. Like I said, I don't understand. What are you doing? Whether you're pitching or not the next day, you have an obligation to have that uniform on and be at the stadium, stretching and working out with your teammates the next morning. What are you doing out in the ocean on a speedboat at whatever time it is? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's dark.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And it's listen, when you're young like that, we all do crazy things, obviously, but we don't go to the point where it means life or death. Most of us don't. So it's really sad because, like you said, he has a daughter on the way, and I'm sure you saw the highlights of the game the night after where D. Gordon hit the home run. He's never hit a home run or a ball that far in a stadium before, and it was just so emotional. Even the Mets were really emotional with that. It's really sad. You hate to see something like that. He was the rookie of the year. He had everything in front of him, and a late night speedboat ride just wiped it all out, which is really sad.
And the weird, the bizarre aspect of it, it was like the next day, a bag with about 20 of his signed baseballs washed up on shore.
Yeah.
And somebody found those things. I don't know if he had them on the boat, and I don't know, but just a sad situation.
It's very sad.
And then this Sunday, Vin Scully ends his 67-year run as the voice of the Dodgers. Fittingly, it comes 80 years to the day that he got the baseball broadcasting bug, and fittingly, it comes with the Dodgers playing the Giants, one of the great rivalries in sports history. Scully has seen it all, dating all the way back to the days at Seals Stadium in the Bay Area. Here's Vin.
When we arrived at Seal Stadium, they did not really have any kind of a radio booth. We didn't televise. So we actually were one row behind the regular fans. And once they realized that we were doing, for instance, a beer commercial live, why, they'd start hollering, just good-naturedly, but they'd start hollering the names of all the other brands of beer that they could possibly think of. So that taught us to record all the commercials rather than be heckled by the fans. And they would also do, in all honesty, I'd be doing a game at Seal Stadium, and a fellow would turn around and just say to me, "Do you have a match?" It was that informal and that close. So that was an experience, but it was new, it was exciting, and the fans were fun. At Candlestick, the wind was a nightmare, but I also thought that the surroundings affected the personality of the audience. Now, I could be completely wrong, but it was cold and raw, windy, and I think the people in the stands were unhappy and sometimes would take their unhappiness out. I mean, we actually had one or two players, if I remember correctly, go up into the stands over somebody making some terrible remark. But once they moved to AT&T Park, it's completely different. The fans are good-natured, they're happy, they're fair, they're wonderful. And although I certainly know nothing about mass psychology and all that stuff, I think the weather at Candlestick kind of embittered the fan, and the weather at AT&T has made it a wonderful party atmosphere.
And I think it will be a very respectful atmosphere this weekend when Vin has his last 3 games of his career at AT&T Park. The Dodgers will open postseason play next week against Washington. Vin is not going to call those games, and he'll tell you why a little bit later on. The wild card races are still being decided. That makes baseball fun right down to the final weekend. We'll talk about that stuff as we go on, too. Coming up on Open Season, another Hall of Fame broadcaster, Bob Miller, joins the show. And we'll talk NFL with Carson Palmer. The Cards quarterback, well, he's got the Rams in his sights this Sunday. And the Rams quarterback, Case Keenum, he's happy to be scoring touchdowns and winning.
Anytime you win in this league, it's big. And each time you do win, it makes the next win that much bigger. So you might be asking me the same question next week. I hope you are.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
All right, hey, we're back here on Open Season. Larry Burnett and Eric Geller. If you're looking for us on social media, I'm at Larry Burnett on Twitter and also on Facebook. And Eric is in numerous places. Give him a couple places.
Real quickly, on Twitter, you can get me at Eric S. Geller. And then on Facebook, obviously, you can find me there, Eric Geller. So Eric Geller with all the sports stuff. And let's see, my blog is on anygivensportsday.com.
All righty. Any Given Sports Day is Thursday right now. We got Thursday night football. I can't tell you how excited I am about the Dolphins and the Bengals tonight.
I cleared up my schedule for it. Not really,
Yeah,
but
listen,
it's
a toss-up because I've got the NFL and I've got American Pickers that I could watch tonight.
Oh, hey, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Actually,
it might be a rerun, but it might be better than the game.
Yeah, I just want to see what the uniforms look like. I know the Bengals are wearing all white. That's all I want to see. 5 minutes of that, and then I'm done. I'm good.
It's going to look like somebody vomited into a Crayola box. That's what it's going to look like. But that's the game tonight. Miami at Cincinnati. If you're interested, have fun with it. Sunday, you got Indy at Jacksonville. The London experience goes on again at Wembley Stadium. Here on the West Coast, that's a 6:30 a.m. start. So I'll have to TiVo that one. I'm not going to be up for that one. I know the league wants to expand. And I guess these things are successful. The London games don't do anything for me except make me get up early.
Yeah, and usually the matchups aren't very good. It's just these teams that really, they're not very good, and they just want to make some sort of a splash somewhere, and they say, yeah, we'll go. Why not? And you know what they should do? They've always been talking about this, and my idea was always they were talking about expanding the regular season from 16 to 18 games and reducing the exhibition season from 4 to 2 games. Well,
right.
if you want to do that, why don't you do this and you want to have a game in London, have it be a 17-game schedule and have the one odd game be a neutral site game and have them every week in London and have an AFC-NFC matchup so that every week there's a different game in London instead of having a team there. And then you have only 2 preseason games and there you have it. But I don't get it because there's never going to be a team there, I don't think. You should never say never.
Well, I mean, the talk is that the owner of Jacksonville is the guy who was thinking about maybe actually moving the team there and having the team there. So, that kind of makes sense. But it
won't make a
put a lot
difference
of
if his
thought
team
into that
still
whole schedule thing there and stuff. Wow.
Well, I did because, that was like the whole big thing. But my thing is this. If his team isn't winning now, what makes you think his team is going to win in London? It's going to be more expensive there to get the players over that way. I mean, who wants
maybe
to
he thinks that they won't mind as much over there. They're much nicer people over there than they have bad teeth, but they're friendly people.
Right. Tea and crumpets at 4 o'clock. You got to stop the game.
Crumpets, right? Righto. Okay.
Right.
Undefeated. You got the Pats still undefeated. We don't know who their quarterback's going to be again this week, but they'll host Buffalo. The Ravens rolling. They'll host the Raiders. Broncos. Young quarterbacks getting it done. They're at Tampa Bay. Monday Night Football has the undefeated Vikings hosting the Giants. Now, the Rams are 2-1. They're playing at Arizona on Sunday, and the Rams not only got a win last Sunday at Tampa Bay, they got their first touchdown. Scored a few of them, by the way.
4 offensive and 1 defensive one. Yeah.
The Cardinals, on the other hand, got bullied in Buffalo, and their quarterback Carson Palmer was intercepted 4 times. Here's Palmer.
It's one of those that lasts with you until you get on the field again and find a way to win the next game or just get a chance to play again. It's one of those that just lingers, and it's a thorn in your side, and you can't stop thinking about it. But you got to fight that urge. You got so many things you have to prepare for, and so much work to do during the week that it's really difficult to block that out. But we're trying. But we're excited about getting to play on Sunday.
It's like having something stuck on your shoe, a piece of paper or gum or something. You want to get rid of it as fast as you possibly can, but it never seems to go away. And I think that Buffalo loss is going to stick with them probably till they get on the field on Sunday. Now, both the Rams and the Cards have strong defenses. Everybody knows that. Arizona, I think, gets the edge on offense. The Rams head coach, Jeff Fisher, he'd like to put a lid on the Cards offense, but it sounds as though he'll be happy just to limit the Arizona attack. Listen.
Anytime you play an offense like this, it's like the old Peyton Manning days, and you have to take the approach that field goals are a win for your defense. the ball's going to get pushed down the field. You got to keep them out of the end zone. A field goal's a win. And so when you take that approach, then, you have to counter with touchdowns.
Wow. I have a feeling it's not going to be pretty for the Rams on Sunday. And it's not because of their defense, but it's because of their offense. And I know last year in Arizona, that's when Todd Gurley had the breakout game. But that's, these two teams know each other, obviously, because they're division rivals. But I think it's going to be different this time. And I think it's because the offense is so inept for the Rams. The receivers aren't consistently catching the football that all they have to do is put 8-9 men in a box, and then you've got the Honey Badger and you've got Patrick Peterson back there.
That's right.
If Keenum throws anything, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I don't think it has anything to do with the defense. I think the defense will play well, but I don't think it's going to be a very good day for the Rams offense. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you what, going into it, and I guess it's a dose of reality when Fisher says, okay, we'll be happy if we hold them to field goals. But at the other end, we've got to go down and score touchdowns. And, that obviously makes sense along the way. So the Rams are concerned a bit about the Cardinals' offense, and Carson Palmer has great respect for the L.A. defense.
It's probably one of the best, one of the top 2 or 3 as far as personnel is concerned. And then you add in the fact that Greg Williams is dialing up pressures and calling the plays. He's one of the best there is at doing that, and he's been that way for a long time. We have a ton of respect for him here. I have a ton of personal respect for the defenses that he's coached. So it's a tremendous challenge offensively. We got to play our best football to win.
It's interesting talking about Greg Williams, too, because throughout the years he's been known as the genius on the defensive side of the football. But early in this season, he didn't look like a genius. Is he getting smarter as the year goes along?
I think his players are finally playing for him. They finally woken up. That defense is they're fun to watch. They're all over the place. They're fast. They're kind of like what Denver has. They're so quick off the edges. They get in the backfield quickly enough. And then you've got Aaron Donald up the middle there. They're fun to watch. But, he's still a genius. Greg Williams is a really nice guy. I've had a bunch of conversations with him. You wouldn't know that he could get really like all these things that he said on Hard Knocks. You're like, really? Yeah. He does that stuff? Super nice guy. But it's a great defense. And he is a genius when it comes to defensive schemes. He's done it for Buffalo. He's done it for Houston, Tennessee. He's done it for Washington. He's done it all. New Orleans. They won the Super Bowl. So, but here's the thing about Carson Palmer, and I've been covering this guy since he was in high school. He throws one of the prettiest footballs I've ever seen, and it's like a dart. It just comes at you like a dart. So if he wants to redeem himself after last week. And I like I said, I don't know if it's going to be very pretty for the Rams this weekend because Arizona is one of I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if I picked them to win, but I picked them to go there. But they're loaded. And, you've got Larry Fitzgerald and all these other guys that they have on offense, and they've got a pretty good offensive line when they're playing well. So I think the Rams might be in a little bit of trouble.
Well, let's get to that because we talked about the Rams offense coming alive against Tampa Bay. Todd Gurley got on track. But now the Rams defense has to deal with Palmer. Running back David Johnson is no longer a secret weapon. Everybody knows about him. Rams safety T.J. McDonald is going to be paying special attention to Pro Bowl receiver Larry Fitzgerald, who already has 20 receptions and 3 touchdowns this season.
A savvy receiver, also can block as well, and for us, we've seen him multiple times. What you can get out of him is it's tough to stop him. So we got to work cut out for us. He's got great hands, so he can get open, and he's a great receiver.
Yeah, I like that Larry Fitzgerald, and as McDonald mentioned, he also gets in and blocks. I mean, he gets involved and really gets involved in the whole process. So the Rams on the road this weekend, then back home to host Buffalo on Sunday, October 9th at the Coliseum.
Don't be
Still
surprised.
to come here on open season, the Lakers and the Clippers back to work. We'll check in with Nick Young and Paul Pierce. Up next, Bob Miller talks about coming back to the L.A. Kings after open heart surgery. And you'll hear more from Vin Scully, who responds right here to Dodger fans saying, the game just won't be the same without you, Vin, next season.
I've been asked or told a lot about, it won't be the same, we miss you, etc. And that's very nice. But you know what? I look back over my career, and I can remember Mel Allen leaving the Yankees. I thought the Yankees can't play without Mel Allen. And Russ Hodges leaving the Giants, and Jack Buck leaving St. Louis, and Harry Carey leaving Chicago, Red Barber leaving Brooklyn. I mean, all these were, oh my gosh, it'll never be the same. But you know what? A year or so, however long it takes, and you'll be history, and I know that, and someone else will hopefully ride and have a great career in your place.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
9MD Beverly Hills provides skincare solutions for patients undergoing cancer treatments. Personalized treatment regimens are initiated to achieve optimum remission states in those dealing with cancer. The IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial at 9MD Beverly Hills safely offers hope and relief for those challenged with the side effects and repercussions of intense cancer treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy. Rejuvenate, replenish, and soothe your skin. Let our certified technicians at 9MD Beverly Hills safely and effectively heal your skin with our IS Clinical products that are pharmaceutical grade, botanically based, paraben free, and do not enter the bloodstream. Enjoy a day of pampering and revitalize your skin with 9MD Beverly Hills and our IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial for just $179. Each patient will receive a complimentary gift bag for take-home care. For more information, please call 310-777-7511 or visit us at www.9amd.com. That's www.nainamd.com.
Welcome back to Open Season. Hockey season is back, and Bob Miller is back as the voice of the LA Kings. And quite frankly, we weren't sure whether he was coming back, when he was coming back, or whatever. Had the quadruple heart bypass surgery last year, missed about 3 months, but he's with us now. He's coming back on an abbreviated schedule. Man, it's good to have hockey back and to have Bob Miller back as the voice of the Kings. How you doing, Bob?
Well, I'm doing fine, Larry. Thank you very much. I'm anxious to get started again, and it took a while for me to get some energy back after that surgery, but feeling pretty good now, and looking forward to our first telecast preseason games October 7 and 8 in Las Vegas.
You got a lot of stuff on the table, but go back with me just a little bit, and I'm sure you've been through this many times before, but, you know, what was it that told you you were in trouble last year, and how dangerous was your situation?
Well, I'd had about 35 years ago some pains in my chest and went and had it checked out. And they said, blood flow is fine. We think it's muscular. But every time I get them, I'd think, I hope they're right, that it's muscular. And then last January, and then it went away for a while. Last January, I was walking around our neighborhood and got some pains again. And I thought, I'm going to go have this checked out again for my peace of mind. Went to the doctor. He said, on your physical, all your numbers as far as your heart and everything are right where they should be. But there's another scan they do now, and that's to check the calcium buildup in your heart. And I think you should have that done. Well, I had that done, and the normal numbers for that are in the 400s. Mine came back 3,300. Wow. So that was kind of a red flag. And they did an angiogram, and the doctor called my wife over. I was still in the room, and he showed her on the TV screen, here's 4 arteries, 90% blocked. Wow. And I kid my wife. I said, I know you were trying to get rid of me because her first question to the doctor was, can he finish the hockey season?
Oh, gosh.
She said, no, I knew that would be your first question to me, so I wanted to get that straight. So he said, we can't put stents in there. We've got to do the surgery. And I was in the right frame of mind for it, Larry. I wanted to just get this fixed so I'm not worried about what's going on. And about a week later, February 2nd, we had the surgery, and it's really invasive, and I'll tell you, it knocks you out for quite a while before you have any energy. But things are coming back. I've done the cardiac rehab, and as far as I know, things will go okay this season.
Unbelievable. Now, obviously, that's got to be a scary experience to go through. Obviously, it's changed your life physically, but do you have a different view of life now, Bob?
Well, I've been asked that quite a bit. I guess because I wanted the surgery done, get in there and find out exactly what you have to do to fix this. So I've got more peace of mind because of that. I don't know that I look at every day a little different, although, as you said, I'm going to cut back on my travel schedule, and the Kings have been very good. Luke Robitaille told me, you decide how much or how little you want to do, and whatever you decide is fine with us. So I'm going to skip the long trips back to the East Coast in the winter, and that'll help a lot. Because I talked to Vin Scully too, and he said the travel's not bad. We charter and everything is fine, but it's the getting in at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning with a game the next night, fly again, game the next night, and you got in at 2 or 3 in the morning, and so I'm gonna cut back this year and see how that goes.
Talking with Bob Miller, the voice of the LA Kings here on Open Season. And you mentioned Vin Scully. He's retiring at the age of 88. You're a part of a triumvirate with him and Chick Hearn, who lived to be 85. You're still going strong at 78. What is it about this play-by-play business that keeps you guys so young?
I don't know, but you're right. Everybody hangs on to that job. And you look at Jaime Jarrín, the Spanish announcer for the Dodgers, I think 55 years that he's been with the Dodgers. And so whatever it is, I think it's always the job that we always wanted.
Yeah.
And we got it, and we're not going to let it go. And we love as you do, going to an event or going to work every day and wonder, what might I see tonight that I've never seen before? What might I be able to describe that I've never described before on a broadcast? And just, I think being around young athletes keeps us young too. Plus, my wife has always said, you're studying names and numbers, and so you're constantly keeping your brain active at an advanced age, which is good. We're not just sitting around, watching TV all the time. So I think those factors enter into it.
Talking with Bob Miller, and you brought up Vin Scully, and here he is, just days away from his final call of a Dodgers game. What is it that's made him so special in your mind as somebody who is in the business and knows it?
Well, I said he set the standard for play-by-play announcing, not only in Southern California, but I think throughout the nation. And all of us that are in this business have been able to learn from listening to Vin. And I think his longevity, of course, is something that generations have grown up with. And of course, when you hear him night after night, you love to hear that voice, and it's like an old friend talking to you. And I said he has the knack of being able to, in baseball, put you on the edge of your seat when there's a tense, exciting moment, and then let you breathe and just pause and let you relax a little bit. And on an exciting play, pause and let the ambiance of the ballpark with the crowd noise and everything else make the listener and viewer feel like they're right there. And that's a special skill that he has. And I think those things go into it. But I think probably more than anything is the familiarity and the storytelling.
Yep. Yeah, you got that for he just winds those threads through the games and around the action or lack of action as nobody else can. All right, let's talk some hockey now. You got the Kings opener coming up on October 12th. They'll be at San Jose. The Sharks knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So, boom, where do we go with this team this year?
Well, that's a good question. I'm anxious to see myself because we lost some players during the off season. We have some new ones coming in. There are some question marks, especially on defense. We're not real deep on defense, although last year they were the third best defensive team in the league. So Jonathan Quick is always outstanding in goal, and he can usually bail out any defensive mistakes, but maybe not all the time. He needs a lot of help. Up front, I think we need a little more scoring and speed. Speed right now in hockey is what everybody wants if they don't have it. And if they have it, it is the new standard in this game. Speed is unbelievable right now, how fast the game is. And speaking of stories, every time I try to tell a story, there's a breakaway or a 2-on-1 attack, and I don't have those guys in the batter's box for 4 minutes or something,
Yeah.
But I love the speed of the game and the quickness and the excitement of the game. I love doing that, and we'll have to see how the Kings are going to do this year. It's a very tough Pacific Division, and yet they still do have the core players who were there that won 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years. So if they can get back and win another one, it'll be 3 cups in 6 years. I'll take that. That'll be a pretty good run.
And the Kings' home opener will be Friday, October 14th against Philadelphia. Have you been practicing, Bob?
Yes, I've got all my I have cards on every player. I've got all those done for the season, really, and then I like to get a head start. There are, of course, going to be newcomers that surprise and make lineups, but then I just have to make cards for them. Also, I've got just about everything done for the game on the 7th of October in Vegas against Dallas, and the next night against Colorado, and that Philadelphia game that you mentioned. It's kind of easy at the start of the year. Nobody's played yet, so all the stats are current.
Exactly.
So you can get a jump on it.
Hey, you picked a great season to come back. It's the Kings' 50th anniversary. It's the NHL's 100th season. The All-Star game is going to be in Los Angeles. And what are your thoughts about Wayne Gretzky being named the NHL ambassador for this 100th season?
I think that's fabulous. I know they've reached out to Wayne before, and the Kings have to come back and be in that role, and nobody is suited better because everybody, if you know anything or even don't know anything about hockey, you'd recognize the name Wayne Gretzky. And I think it's great for Wayne to come back. He was the face of the league when he played. And I think maybe when he retired, he just wanted to step back and not have all those demands on his time. And now the years have gone by, and I think it's great. I hope it's the first step to a permanent job in that position where Wayne can again sell the game as he did so well when he was playing.
Well, nobody sells the LA Kings games as Bob Miller does, and I'll tell you, it's a thrill to have you healthy, to have you on open season with me today, and believe me, it will do our hearts good to have you back at the microphone for the LA Kings games this season. Really appreciate you coming on, Bob, and good health to you.
Okay, Larry, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, and good luck to you, too.
You got it. That's Bob Miller with us on Open Season. We'll take a quick time out and then back with more when we continue.
All the frustration and disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions. The countdown is on. 3, 2, 1. It's over.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
9MD Beverly Hills provides skincare solutions for patients undergoing cancer treatments. Personalized treatment regimens are initiated to achieve optimum remission states in those dealing with cancer. The IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial at 9MD Beverly Hills safely offers hope and relief for those challenged with the side effects and repercussions of intense cancer treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy. Rejuvenate, replenish, and soothe your skin. Let our certified technicians at 9MD Beverly Hills safely and effectively heal your skin with our IS Clinical products that are pharmaceutical grade, botanically based, paraben free, and do not enter the bloodstream. Enjoy a day of pampering and revitalize your skin with 9MD Beverly Hills and our IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial for just $179. Each patient will receive a complimentary gift bag for take-home care. For more information, please call 310-777-7511 or visit us at www.9amd.com. That's www.nainamd.com.
Exactly. Then it would be even worse. And I also didn't want to say goodbye like they do in Grand Opera, and they say goodbye 25 times in 15 minutes. I'll be saying goodbye to the people here at Dodger Stadium. I'll be saying goodbye to baseball in general when I leave in San Francisco. And I couldn't possibly think, and then I'm going to say goodbye from, let's just say, Washington or New York, doing radio in the playoff. It just didn't work right for me. So to me, we'll tie the ribbon on the package in San Francisco, and that'll be that.
And that is Vin Scully describing why he will not be calling the Dodgers playoff games this year. He wanted a definitive ending, and he's got it coming up on Sunday. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Giants, and that is going to be it for Vin Scully's career. The finale will be Sunday at AT&T Park, and Vin is approaching that game kind of business as usual.
I think I've got them in check, but you never know. You never really know. And I don't think I'm going to stress anything about me. I will try to just do the game. I mean, I really will. I will concentrate on Denver as if they're challenging the Dodgers for first place. And the game will take its place and hopefully carry me along with it to the very end. So I think I'll be okay.
We will see as they take on the Giants in this weekend series. Now, we thought that Paul Pierce might be retiring this year in the NBA, but now he's coming back to the Clippers for one final season. But he wasn't all that sure about coming back for his 19th NBA year. Listen in.
Early in the summer, I really didn't feel like getting up, going to the gym, working out. But as the summer progressed and I thought about the year and I thought about the players, and I was like, you know, last season kind of left a bad taste in my mouth on how it ended, how I played. And so I just wanted to, you know, kind of go out on my own terms and, you know, have one more opportunity to win a championship with this group. I think this group is a great group, a lot of talent, been together. They understand each other. They've been through the trials and tribulations. And I think sometimes it takes that to get over the hump. And I think, you know, why not give it one more shot? I've been fortunate to be in the game this long, and hopefully I can just share some of my experiences with the rest of my teammates. Hopefully I can inspire them. Hopefully we can win a championship, and I can, you know, pretty much go on top.
Well, hopefully he can stay healthy and contribute this year, because that didn't happen last year, and you hate to see the really great players, you know, go out on a down note. I'd like to see him finish strong. I just don't know how he can contribute this year. Do you?
I don't either. Yeah, I'd like to see him finish strong. You know, maybe he can contribute by hitting a three-point shot down the stretch somewhere, or maybe he'll have a big game here and there. But yeah, he wasn't healthy last year, so I think he left a bitter taste in his mouth, obviously, and he wanted to come back, and this is it, and he's going to give it his all. But what his all will be, we don't know. They're pretty deep this year again, the Clippers. So we'll see what happens. But you know, hopefully for him, they go up on a. You know, they play very well, and he has a great last year.
Yeah, I think Doc's going to have to ration Pierce's minutes through the regular season, try to keep him healthy for the playoffs, and we'll see how it goes out. And of course, everybody, you know, in the world is talking about Golden State adding Kevin Durant to their roster, becoming the NBA super team. But Paul Pierce kind of feels that the Clippers might have a super team of their own.
Early in the summer,
I think more kids should actually watch Paul Pierce play than some of the other players because of the way he plays. You know, Paul's not going to be on a lot of highlights, but when you watch how he played and fundamentally how well he played, I think that's actually what kids should really watch, is how he did it without using his athleticism that he actually had.
See, I'm not sure I understand that. He did it by not using the athleticism that he actually had?
Yeah, well, you know, it's Doc.
What does that mean? Was he been sloughing it for 18 years and not playing up to his potential? He's a Hall of Famer.
Well, maybe he'll give it his all his last year. That's what
I would certainly hope so. But anyway, the bite that we were leading into there was Pierce talking about that he thinks with the depth and the talent that the Clippers have, that they should be considered a super team and a team to beat. But until they put it all together and make some noise in the playoffs, everybody's going to say you're not a super team. You're a team that's got a lot of talent that hasn't done anything yet.
You know, you've got, and what he said basically was you've got Chris Paul, who's first team All-NBA. You've got Blake Griffin, first team All-NBA. You've got DeAndre Jordan, who was first team All-NBA last year, Defensive Player of the Year. You've got the best six-man coming off the bench, and you've got the best three-point shooter outside of Steph Curry in J.J. Redick. So that's what he was saying. Yeah, they have to get farther in the playoffs, and you know what? I think they really have a chance. And I think DeAndre, you know, going to the Olympics and learning how to win with those guys and learning from coaches like Krzyzewski and all those and Boeheim that were there, I think that might help him and help the team as well, based on his experience in Rio.
Yeah, I hope so. I still think it's interesting. You know, one of the reasons that he decided not to go to Dallas was because the Clippers said, we're going to run more of our offense through you and get you more involved. They didn't run more of their offense through him at all last year. They played him in the same role that he was in before, and they ended up in the same situation that they've been in the past. So, it's one thing to say you're going to do something. It's another thing to do it. And so far, I haven't seen them step up and give him what they said they were going to give him.
Well, the way he creates offense for himself is for getting defensive rebounds and getting offensive rebounds and blocking shots. That's his game, and you are what you are, and you might as well embrace what you are. You're not an offensive, superstar stud center in like Shaquille was, or, I guess even in some cases the way Dwight Howard is now, I don't know, or was. But you know what I mean? He's not a Kareem, definitely. So he's more... You know what? He's more of a Bill Russell. Bill Russell lived off his defense and off his rebounding, and that's how he scored his points.
Well, listen, DeAndre Jordan is not a creator.
No.
He's a reactor.
Exactly.
He's not a creator. So if I'm Doc, I'm not running my offense through him either. Oh. I'm saying get out there, rebound, play defense, and whatever you get for yourself, you get. But that's not what they were talking about. Now, you were with the Clippers down at Irvine. I was with the Lakers who were in El Segundo. They're going to be training in Santa Barbara for the next couple of weeks. They got young players. They got a new head coach, the youngest in the league, and Luke Walton. But after months of rumors, innuendo, trade talks, and all kinds of gnarly stuff, Nick Young is still on the Lakers team, and he's ready for another training camp.
Oh, man, it's 10th year in the league.
10 years.
Yeah, it goes by,
Do you remember when you first came into the league and saw the uniform for the first time?
Yes. I went in the restroom and was looking in the mirror, making sure I looked right, took pictures, it's like a dream come true. So, you see it, you feel it,
How do you feel about this team with all the youth that it's got, and now with basically a first-time head coach in Luke Walton?
I think it's a great thing, especially a great change in the organization and with the coaching staff, and it's a new environment that I think we all need.
Are you a little surprised to be here this year?
Yeah, most definitely. I heard a lot of rumors this summer. I was preparing for anything, but I'm here now. Happy to be a Laker still, and getting ready for training camp.
How do you handle all those question marks during the off season and turn that into a positive for the season?
Oh man, it's tough, but you got to know it's a business. You got to understand that I've been in the league for 10 years, been on 5 different teams, so I've been traded before, and I've been all right with it. But it's LA. I'm glad I'm still here for now, and just got to keep working, get to work.
And you can still shoot the ball, right?
For sure.
Still here for now. Yeah. We'll see a Meta World Peace back with the Lakers too, and we'll see if he makes it through training camp and into the regular season. Quickly here in our final 2 minutes, college football. Les Miles out at LSU. He was so high on the totem pole for the longest time. Now he's looking for work. And Ed Orgeron is the guy who steps in on the interim basis. It doesn't look like they've got long-term plans for him, but he was the guy who was always the interim guy at USC, and now he's in there at LSU. What do you think happens with Les Miles?
Well, if things keep going the way they're going at USC, there might be an opening there at the end of the year. I don't listen. Les Miles, what a great football coach, and it's kind of surprising to me that LSU would do that. They're 2-2. I don't see that that's really, maybe for them it's the SEC.
Yeah, but it's carryover from last year, and he was on the brink last year, and they wanted him to change the offense, and they never really got the balance to it. The guy will land on his feet. If he gets a decent offensive coordinator, he'll probably be very successful. Some interesting games this weekend, too, and we got to get through them quickly here. Number 7, Stanford at number 10, Washington on Friday night. Then Saturday, number 3, Louisville at number 5, Clemson, 2 great quarterbacks there. And number 8, Wisconsin at number 4, Michigan, top-ranked Alabama taking on Kentucky. It should be a blowout there, but some pretty interesting games this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward actually to that Louisville-Clemson game because I think it'll be more like a basketball score, a college basketball score. But I think, what is it? Is it Lamar Jackson, the quarterback for Louisville?
Sure is, for Louisville, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Heisman Trophy front runner.
He's out in front. All right, Next time we're back on open season, Vin Scully is going to be in retirement. So if you're wondering what he plans to do with all of his spare time, well, just listen.
Maybe the first thing I'll do Monday is take my watch off and put it in the drawer and just think I can do anything I want, which probably will be have a nice breakfast, read the papers, maybe take a walk, and get a good book and read that book.
We are closing the book on this edition of Open Season. Thanks to Eric Geller, Brandon McCormick, Bob Miller, Vin Scully, Paul Pierce, Carson Palmer, Jeff Fisher, Eric Ogletree, TJ McDonald, Doc Rivers, and Nick Young. And thanks to you, everybody, for tuning into Open Season. Be sure to join us next Thursday at 3:05 p.m. Until then, get out and try to have some fun. Would you do that?
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living?
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and 106.5 FM Yucaipa.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tom Roberts. The governor of New Jersey is updating the investigation of the New Jersey Transit train that plowed into the Hoboken train station this morning, killing one woman who was hit by falling debris.
Here in Hoboken, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie called